Presentation of Upstate Prepcast. It's presented by our title sponsor, Wings Etc., 2644 Bowling Springs Road, Bowling Springs. Good food, great times, award-winning wings, and amazing etc. It's time for high school athletics on Upstate Prepcast. Promotional consideration given in part by Raymond James, Financial Advisor Tom Dixon, East Main Street, Spartanburg. By the law firm of Bell, Carrington, Price & Gregg, LLC. And by Chad Wagner State Farm Insurance, Asheville Highway, Spartanburg. Like a good neighbor, Chad Wagner and State Farm is there. By the realtors of Brookshire Hathaway Home Services, C. Dan Joyner, the Spartanburg office, Jeff Parks, managing broker. By JB Trees, LLC. Professional work at a reasonable price. By Mike Varner Plumbing, located in Inman. Plumbing solutions since 1984. By the award-winning Flounder Seafood Restaurant, 160 Barbado Lane, Spartanburg. By GSP Security, providing video surveillance and security for residential and commercial. The View Church, Paris Bridge Road, Bowling Springs. By Blue Ridge Tire, we won't leave you flat, Highway 101 Greer. By GG's Creations, custom crafts for home and business. By Mahindra Tractors of the Upstate, Chesney Highway, Chesney. By the Pocahontas Country Club, Nature's Mountain Playground, Pocahontas County, West Virginia. By Warrior Trees, your expert tree removal solution. By J&L Lawn Service. By the Home Run Cafe, locations in Inman and Greer. By the Seawright Funeral Home, East Main Street, Inman. Celebrating loved ones since 1920.
Touchdown Cardinals! Good evening, Cardinal fans, and welcome to the Smokehouse Grill here on the Asheville Highway in Landrum, South Carolina for the Landrum Cardinals Coaches Show with head coach Brent Bridges, Steve Roper, along with Kevin Jackson, and a nice crowd of Cardinal fans here have assembled here, Coach. I tell you, Coach, it was an exciting week last week doing our first show up here at the Smokehouse. We'd like to thank all of those guys for putting it together. We're back again, and I hope to have as much fanfare as we had last week and just enjoy a good time talking with you.
Yeah, it was a great show, great for the kids. Just great to be connecting the program with the community, and that's what we're trying to do. And it went great last week, and hopefully it'll continue to go great.
All right, this week we're going to talk a little Cardinal football. We're going to recap last week's big action here at the Campobello Coliseum against the Clinton Red Devils. And, hey, goodness gracious, it doesn't get much worse. We got another date Friday night with another bunch of Red Devils.
Yes, we do. We got we'll be traveling to Liberty Friday night, playing a really good football team. We'll talk about Coach Sutherland and his crowd at Liberty in just a little while. But Friday night, very proud of our kids, how they played, how hard they played, and I think coming out of Friday night, we proved something to ourselves, and I hope we prove something to our fans and the people who follow us that that we're for real, we can play, and we came out the first drive against Clinton, and I think it was a 10 or 11 play drive, went down, scored 7-0.
They were not expecting that. You could feel the shock in the air when that happened. But unfortunately, Coach, it was short-lived.
It was. They returned the kickoff for a touchdown. Happened pretty quick.
I'm giggling about that. But
I am too, because, the one thing, and we talked about this last week on the show, we cannot simulate. We can try to simulate what they do, but we cannot simulate their speed.
Yeah,
and
the athletes that they had.
And we didn't realize how fast they were till we got out there, and that's something when we bring the players on that we're bringing on, we can talk to them about too. I asked them Monday. First question I asked the players is I said, a lot of plays you go back and watch the film, we're half a step behind defensively. I said, how are we going to correct that between now and Friday night? How are we going to correct that between now and hopefully we see Clinton again in the playoffs? And Coach Brown works on trying to get us faster, but we ain't going to get that much faster that quick. We have to play smarter. We have to read our keys defensively. We have to study film more, and we have to understand what's happening to be able to react quicker. And I believe our guys will do that. I believe they'll start doing that this week. And I think you'll see us slowly getting better defensively over the course of the next couple of weeks.
We talked a little bit about using last week's game as kind of a measuring stick to where you are, but also where you want to be in the future. And a program like Clinton is the mark. They didn't come in with that high ranking because they weren't any good.
No, I mean they're a traditional powerhouse,
precisely.
Great football program, and Coach Fountain, their coach, he's done a great job getting them back to that. And
I truly believe, Coach, that if we could field 34 to 40 players like last week, we could have actually maybe have won this ball game because we had guys playing on both sides of the ball and in some very, very physical contest up front. We'll get to that later. I mean, Coach Thompson hit it right when he said it was going to be a brawl.
Yeah.
And it was. It was a brawl, but, we don't use the term brawl too loosely because there was a lot of sportsmanship exhibited in this game. There was no crazy, dirty penalties or anything like that. And to the victors, we congratulate them and for their sportsmanship and coming up here and handling things the way they did. And and to your guys, Coach, Kevin and I were just flabbergasted at the effort from the very beginning, right from the get-go, the heart that was exhibited by your boys from the get-go all the way through. Even when you get to the point where, okay, we know that there's too many points to make up here with the time, but you didn't lay down. They fought to the bitter. They fought to the bitter end, and that's what I wanted to ask you in your post-game speech to the guys, which was we were looking at. What did you tell those guys? Because I know they were really dejected, but they also knew that they left everything on the field. Well, I feel that they left on the field. As a coach, do you feel that they gave the effort that you say they left it all on the field?
Yeah, I do. And if this tells you anything, when we lose, we don't do players of the week. We don't do our reward stickers, stuff like that. We're still doing that this week because I feel like our guys gave us everything they had Friday night. They played as hard as they could. They got after it. And then honestly, the scoreboard is not a good reflection of how close that game was. It kind of got out of hand there near the end. They got a couple extra scores.
They scored quick,
They did, and take nothing away from them. Again, they got a great football team, but our guys played great, and I'd love the opportunity to see Clinton again in the playoffs. I mean, I really would. I think our guys would know what to expect now. I think our guys know what to expect now when we see a really good football team and we see a fast football team. We've seen it now. We know what to expect. Up to this point, we had not seen anything close to that.
Those are the type of teams, that kind of quickness and speed are the types of things that you don't see until about the third round if you're fortunate enough to make it to a third round.
Third round. That's right.
You see those top quality teams. Now, Kevin can chime in here on this. The importance of region play coming up as far as home field, you were telling me, implications for hosting playoff games because, right now there's no doubt we're battling for that second spot in the region right now. But with that comes perks, right, Kevin?
Yeah, I mean, obviously 2 games remaining here against Liberty and Chesney. Liberty fell to Chesney last week, so Chesney has a tiebreaker over them. And, of course, you always want to win the games to have those tiebreakers. But, again, this could be the first senior class maybe ever to host 2 home playoff games in their career because I think we finished second a couple years ago and then this one. So I don't know how many classes in Landrum High School history can stand up and say that. But one point I wanted to interject on to piggyback off what you're talking about, if anybody goes back and watches the our post-game show from the other night. We had the two kids from Landrum 6G, and you asked the question, Steve, of I believe it was Ike Fancher, that how they were inspired to see that even though the scoreboard wasn't on our side, that our guys kept fighting, kept trying to score, kept trying to play the game to the end of the game, and how inspirational it was to basically set that standard for which future teams now must be measured. That's something
right.
that these seniors can leave a legacy on, to say even if the scoreboard isn't on our side, we're going to play to the end of the game and this is going to be the standard for what Landrum football will be.
I think,
and
Coach.
you're exactly right, Kevin, and that's a great point. And, one thing last year with the group we had last year, I stressed to them, and a lot of these guys we got a lot of them back, but we had 22 seniors, and one thing I stressed was, you're laying the foundation for what our program's going to be moving forward, and as long as I'm here, and I really feel like this group of seniors, and this not just the seniors, just this whole team, they've bought in into us and what we're trying to do in our culture a lot more than last year, and I understand that was a tough transition last year, and but with that. These guys are going to be. It's funny. This weekend we visited as a team. We visited Oak Grove Baptist Church, and I love going there. Love Lynn Stewart, but Ryan Howard, he preached. He's their youth pastor. Ryan played here back in the '90s. I think he graduated in '97. He was a good football player. Went on to play. Had a little bit of a career at North Greenville also. But Ryan preached, and he was talking about. He was talking about foundations again. He was talking about how the corner is the strongest point, and I believe that's what this group, this team this year is going to be for us. Is they're going to set the corners of our foundation moving forward for this program.
I've seen that before, Coach. I know. Don't want to get back to being a relic again, but I see some guys that I know now that are in their 40s. Well, let's say some guys your age.
My age,
okay?
yeah, that's right.
And you know what I was doing back then. And those were guys that set corner foundations, and they're, like you say, your age now, and I still meet them, and that's how I remember them down yonder as
That's right.
the foundation. The coach and I, when I first met Coach last year, when the district introduced him and such as that, and he said, I think I've heard of you. And I said, well, I think I've written about you. So I have to ask the coach, guys, listen to this. Your coach right here, 17, what did I say, Coach? I done forgot now. 12 of 14, 2 touchdowns and 174 yards in a 44-23 thumping of Chapman in 1996, and here's your quarterback that did it. So I went and I looked that up this week because I was interested. I said, Coach, I always wrote and talked, not such good things about some other coaches, like Jerry Cash and Carey that was over in Chesney, things like that. This is a player, for some reason, I did not say anything smart ethically about or anything else, and I think the gridiron gods knew that 32 years later or so I was going to meet you.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what, we got a quarterback here in Landrum and playing some good football Friday night.
Yes, he is.
Friday night offensively against Clinton, we had a good game plan going in, we felt like, and to be honest, we really didn't feel like we was going to be able to run the ball against them. And come find out we could. We actually rushed for 327 yards Friday night and ended up passing for 141. But our offense played great, had some great performances out of some guys, and we're going to get to those in just a minute. But our offensive, our Southside Smokehouse Grill Offensive Player of the Week this week is Ty Foster, and right after this break, we're going to be bringing Ty on and talking to him a little bit and let everybody get to know Ty a little bit.
All right, you heard it from the coach. He's the one telling us to take a break. I'm telling you, he runs the show, so we just play him. And let's go, Kevin. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Coach Bridges Show here on Upstate Prepcast. Come on.
Bell Carrington, Price & Gregg is the premier legal team you can trust. Founded by Griffin Bell, our firm stands for reliability, fairness, and honesty. Provide top-notch legal services that you can count on. They cover 10 practice areas, including business, finance, real estate, creditors' rights, and general litigation. Our friendly team in 5 states is ready to assist you with all of your legal needs. Call our Greenville office today, 864-272-0556. Bell Carrington, Price & Gregg. Are you tired of dealing with tire troubles? Look no further than Blue Ridge Tire, your one-stop destination for all your tire needs. From flat tire repairs to computerized wheel balancing, we've got you covered, offering top name brands like Yokohama, Toyo, and Michelin. Blue Ridge Tire is conveniently located at 2701 North Highway 101 in Greer. Don't wait until you're stuck on the roadside. Call us now, 864-879-0703. At Blue Ridge Tire, we won't leave you flat.
Do you have a tree problem? Look no further than JB Trees LLC. At JB Trees LLC, we strive to provide a wonderful experience with professional service marked by excellence, all at reasonable prices. Schedule your free estimate today by calling 864-497-8511. That's 864-497-8511, or visit us online at jbtreesllc.com. JB Trees LLC, where your vision meets our expertise.
The Flounder Seafood Restaurant, located at 160 Barbado Lane in Spartanburg, opens every Wednesday through Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Serving the upstate since 1969, they have been twice voted Spartanburg's best seafood restaurant. Everything at the Flounder is fresh and homemade, from their specialty stews to their famous hash and their signature flounder. Visit the website at flounderfishcamp.com. Come visit the Flounder, where there is a line, but it moves quickly. The Flounder at 160 Barbado Lane. Give them a call at 864-576-3165. All right, welcome back to the Southside Smokehouse and Grill here in Landrum, South Carolina. Head coach Brent Bridges of the Landrum Cardinals, and we brought in a special guest this week. He is the Offensive Player of the Week for the team, and he was also the Offensive Player of the Week for Upstate Prepcast, Mr. Ty Foster. Now, get a tight shot of that. You don't get to keep it, you just get to show off with it, okay? I was going to save that for later,
have to get some more of them made then.
I tell you, I like that, you know. Ty, you and the coach take it away, but first of all, congratulations. You played one heck of a game last week, son.
Thank you.
You really did.
Hey, yeah, seriously, very proud of you for Friday night and how you played. You know, and the most thing I'm proud of is how you stood in there. You stayed in the pocket. You waited till the last second, and that's just that's the way I want you to play the game, man. And that's great. When as a coach, when I see you developing and doing things, I told you this already this week. It's a proud moment for me. But let's let the world learn a little bit about Ty Foster. All right, just tell us a little bit about yourself. What you into? Tell us a little bit about your family. Tell us about. We know you got a little a very pretty girlfriend. You outkicked your coverage there. You know, you tell us a little bit about her, about the other sports you play.
I think you lost him at girlfriend.
I know.
I play baseball as well. That's one other sport to play. I used to play basketball, not anymore. I have one sister, and then my mom and my dad. All very supportive of me and always come to my games. And then my grandpa is also at every other game. Have 2 dogs, and that's about it.
Now your sister, she's at North Greenville, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, she's junior, senior. You don't know. You have to look at mom and dad. That's bad. Come on now. All right, now wait a minute. He just knows she's
not at home.
Did you notice something there, Rover? He totally. Wait a minute. Well, you didn't talk about your better half, as I call it.
We want to know about the girlfriend. We don't care about the X's and O's now. We want to know about the girlfriend. Did you take her to the homecoming dance?
No, we didn't go to that.
Well, and she's still your girlfriend.
No, seriously, Ty, tell us a little bit about your girlfriend. I know she plays soccer, and a pretty good little soccer player from what Coach Walker said.
Yes, sir. She plays soccer for the school, and she plays for a club team right now. It's club season. They play club season. But yeah, she also is pretty athletic and plays sports too. So.
I'm going to ask you one question that Kevin and I have noticed this year compared to last year. And, Coach, do you work with the quarterbacks? Is that your positioning that you do working with?
I work with him some, yeah.
All right, Kevin, that tells us a lot, don't it? I'm talking about this. Your coach was a great high school player, and he was a great college player too. The difference, the progression that we've noticed from you from last year, we know you have a rocket arm. but don't get mad at me, but you couldn't hit the side of a barn last year. Your accuracy this year has been just pinpoints, and you're throwing darts, you're throwing lasers, and we've had a lot of drop passes.
Yes, sir.
You know, you can have some great stats, but your improvement, can you throw some of that back at the coach here? I mean, can you credit him with helping you, or
Yes,
or is
sir.
that something you've?
It's definitely.
You know, I'm interested in that because his progression from last year, coach, is just incredible.
Yes, sir. He's definitely had a big impact on me with a lot of the mental game, but also throwing the ball. Another coach has been our new coach that got this year is Coach Lewis. He works with me a lot during the defensive period. Me and him and two receivers, AJ Mavar and Rowan Gehrman, go and do a lot of work together. Just a lot of staying in the pocket, moving your feet.
You stayed in the pocket the other night and took two good clobberings, didn't you, Coach? Right, I mean, right in the chest. And we mentioned it on the broadcast that you paid a price for that. And one time I didn't think you were going to get up. And we remarked on your grittiness and your toughness. That was when we were pinned back at our own one at that time.
I know he's going to get up. Sometimes I wish he'd just hop up a little quicker, you know what I mean? But, no, I tell you this, last season ends, and we did I met with players after the season. Well, in our postseason meeting, me and Ty are meeting, we talking, and, you know, and we both opened up and were honest with each other, and Ty told me at that point, he said, Coach, you know, sometimes during the season when you were talking about certain coverages, or you were talking about, you know, who's 1 and 2 and 3 on this route and that route, he said, I didn't fully understand. He said, I shook my head, and he said, I didn't understand. And we did a lot of this off season, having him in class. He was in the football class second semester, and getting to we spent a lot of time together. We got to, and one thing that I feel like we're doing a good job of, and you can tell when we don't, is like if we go out to a practice on a Monday or Tuesday and me and him hadn't had time to meet, you can tell, because when we've had time to meet, he's seeing the play and he's seeing things exactly how I'm seeing it, and that's great. I mean, and that's what's making us successful right now is the time he's put in, and he's studying film and the things he's doing. And,
so he's learned the game.
Yes,
mentally.
He is. And, you know, Ty, tell us a little bit about why you talk about you were a three-sport athlete, and you gave up basketball. You're going to stick just with football and baseball. And talk to us a little bit about why. What's your motivation there, your love with those two sports?
I chose not to play basketball this year. I love Coach Smith. He's a great coach. He's always been an amazing coach and a big impact in my life. But I always was laid out to baseball. After the season, I was a few weeks behind just getting out there, and I didn't really like that. And really, I was just playing basketball to give me something to do and keep me active during the off season. But this year, I will be playing like fall baseball. So I'm still doing something, but it'll be baseball related.
All right, so which is your favorite, football, baseball? Got to ask.
Baseball.
You can be honest. Baseball.
My boy, my
I
boy.
think Coach Henson's gotten to him. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that. I think Dad got to him a long time ago.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. When
That's
you're in
right.
high school, play it all if you can.
No, and you're exactly right. He knows that,
You know, I tell you what I've told kids a long time, because as you get older, and the coach knows, if you've gone back to, say, high school reunions, whether it's 10 years, or in my case, the 45 dreaded one was up, and you meet guys' wives at these things, Coach, and they'll get to talking about their husbands. Oh, he was all-state back when you played. We never had anybody all-state, you know, when I played. But they lie. So you've got 4 years to do it, and the rest of your life to lie about it is what I'm saying.
Right. Now, did you realize coming out of the game Friday night, you had 7 rushes for 155 yards? I hadn't done the math, but that's over 15 yards a carry, I think. That's
Don't look at me. I'm not going to do the math.
Did you realize that?
Not really.
And you know, Ty, you had a big game Friday night. You went 17 of 34 for 141 yards passing, but you know, on top of that, Steve, the 17 of 34, and I've talked to Ty about this. We had 5 drop balls that were just right in your hands. And then we had 2 or 3 that were 50-50 balls. You know, we want to see our guys come down with those. But, Ty, you doing a great job this season, man. And, you know, just sitting here looking at your stats, you've already threw for right at 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. You got over 600 yards rushing. And I'm proud of you and proud of what you're doing with your teammates and how – One thing I'm gonna say about this young man is he's very unselfish. He's always promoting his teammates, talking about his teammates, and you know that's a testament to mom, dad, grandpa, grandma, the whole family. But just a good kid, and proud of you and what you're doing this season, man. We got one last question for you. Got to know, because I think we've talked a little bit about this. Y'all know I'm a superstitious guy. You got any superstitions on game day? And we can go football and baseball here. Let me hear.
Baseball players are all superstitious.
I know he's got some.
The worst.
I know he's got some.
Nothing like I have the game socks from last year. I always wear those and stuff. I don't go get new ones. I always wear those.
So you wear last year's?
You wearing them every day, like even now? Is it,
Poor mama.
And for baseball, I always get before the game, if I have time, or if not, my mom will bring it to me sometimes, the Sweet Tart gummy chews or whatever. I always eat those for baseball games.
So wait a minute. Let's now I gotta ask you.
Mommy's the secret weapon.
What did mom have to bring all the way to Clinton, South Carolina, when we were at camp this summer at PC for when we were down there for 7-on-7, the FCA camp? I noticed we hadn't been there very long at all. Mom done pulled up. What do we have to have there?
Well, I told her I wasn't going to want any snacks or need any snacks. And then I got there, and she just asked me if I was okay whenever I got there and everything. And I was like, yeah, I just wish I would have brought snacks. And she didn't have to drive all the way from here. She was already in Greenville, so she's halfway here. But, I mean, yeah, she did bring me some snacks. But
are you a mommy's boy?
Right.
Because there's nothing wrong with being a mommy's boy.
Hey, I agree. Hey, Steve, I told him.
I love these mommies after last week. You know that.
Coach Threadgill, and they was giving him a hard time because his mom brought him some food. And I said, my mom would have done the same thing. I can't say not one word. So I understand.
Ty, before
I don't care how old you are, you might get hurt one day, but the last words in your mouth will be "mommy."
Yeah, enjoy it.
Ty, before we go to break, again, this has been a great interview with you. I know we both commented, Steve and I, in the booth. At one point there, I think it was right before halftime, Clinton had kind of stuffed us a little bit there. They'd gotten up by a couple scores, and we had dropped a few balls. Running game, for that moment at least, it went a little stagnant, and there was a great play where you essentially, I think that was a 50 or 60-yard run maybe or such, where you just absolutely weaved in and out, broke a few tackles, got us all the way.
Wheels, I said. He's got wheels.
Close, and I think I made the comment at the time, but at that moment you really stepped up as a leader and put the team on your back, and it was an inspiring moment for us and really gave us another glimmer of hope in that game and let Clinton know that we weren't just going to lay down and go away easy.
It was obvious you were a team leader Friday night. I mean, if people want to sit back and want to say what does a team leader look like on the football field on a Friday night, this is Ty Foster right here. That's what you had last Friday night. Ty, thank you so much, and good luck this week. I hope we can beat the devil out of Liberty. Coach, you want to add something else?
Yep, I do. Ty, what'd you order tonight?
Chicken fingers.
Chicken fingers.
Yep.
So just chicken fingers and fries.
Yep.
I mean, we got all this barbecue and New Orleans style food,
and I think
you a picky eater?
Yeah, evidently.
Oh, yeah. Boy, you better go over and give your mama a big hug, kiss.
Speaking of those moms, last Friday night, Kevin, do you want to take it from here? You're the culinary expert, and how happy they made us, Coach. And I want to thank you. The coach texted me right before, just a little bit before kickoff, and he said, "Go next door and look what you got." Coach, that was awesome. And I understand that your mother was the instigator, Miss Foster, of that. And thank you. And those meatballs were delicious. All right, we're going to step away for another commercial break. Then we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little about defense from last week, Coach. Isn't it? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to talk a little defense.
Yep.
And then after that, we'll take another little break, and we'll be right back, and we'll preview
when we come back, we'll just come straight back on with our defensive player of the week. AJ Lindsey had a great game. We'll talk a little bit about his stats and talk to him again this week on the show and see what he got to say.
All right, stick around. We'll be right back.
All right, guys, 30-second commercial for GSP Security. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
No, it's your turn to go. I did the last one.
No, this one's yours.
Man, I've already got a security system from GSP Securities. You're the one who needs to talk about this.
Well, you can talk about it because I don't know anything about it, so you tell me.
I've got cameras, I've got motion detectors, I've got everything that I need to be safe at my house.
Oh, come on.
All right, forget it. Y'all both forget it. Just go to www.callgsp.com today to request a free quote.
This is Steve Roper.
Kevin Jackson.
At Upstate Prepcast, and I tell you what, folks, you don't have to feel a financial strain from a clogged drain. Just call the MVP of plumbers. That's Mike Verner's Plumbing. Proudly celebrating their 40th year of service to the Carolinas. Mike Verner's Plumbing has you covered in all situations, whether it's commercial or residential. So if your toilet's on the fritz and you really need to take a...
Hold everything. Folks, call the MVP of plumbers today at 864-472-8756. Mike Verner's Plumbing of Inman.
This is Pastor Tyler from View Church. We're located in Bowling Springs at 5555 Pierce Bridge Road. If you've been turned off by religion, been discouraged or hurt by church, or maybe you just thought church was boring, you should give View Church a try. It's a place like none other. The people are genuine, the Spirit is obvious, and God is moving in this place. Visit our website for times and direction at viewchurch.org.
Jeff Parks and his team of experienced real estate professionals at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services see Dan Joyner are lifelong football fans, and they know for a successful football team on any level, you must have great coaching and a good game plan. The same goes when purchasing or selling a home. Let the Spartanburg office at 170 Camelot Drive be your coach with the right game plan and strategy to make your real estate purchase go like a championship winning season. Contact Jeff Parks at 864-415-0336. Berkshire Hathaway, see Dan Joyner of Spartanburg. See danjoyner.com.
Step up to the plate at Home Run Cafe in Greer. Located at 810 North Main Street. Open Monday through Friday from 7 to 4 and Saturdays from 8 to 4. You can start your day strong with protein shakes, smoothie bowls, lemonade shake-ups, or iced coffees. And don't forget our loaded teas with assorted flavors. The MVP of our menus. Customers can't get enough. So call 864-915-4721 to place your order, or just slide on into Home Run Cafe, where every visit is a grand slam.
Discover the power of Mahindra at Mahindra of the Upstate, located at 4951 Chesney Highway in Chesney. We're your one-stop destination for top quality tractors. Mahindra, the #1 best-selling tractor in the world, is now within your reach. Take advantage of our low-rate financing options, making your dream tractor more affordable than ever. Visit our website at sctractor.com or call 864-461-2515. Mahindra of the Upstate, the official tractor of Tough.
All right, we're back here live at the Southside Smokehouse and Grill here in Landrum, South Carolina, the Coach Brent Bridges Show here on Upstate Prepcast, and we are joined this evening by last week's Defensive Player of the Week for the Landrum Cardinals in a big effort against Clinton, and he was also the Upstate Prepcast Player of the Week for defensive also. Don't get too used to that. It's mine. As always, put it back, son. Don't play with the toys. Mr. A.J. Lindsey. Charlie Hustle should be his name, Coach.
Hey.
Coach, I just want to say one thing. During the broadcast last week, and I'm sure he's watched it. He probably heard some of the things I said about him. Very complimentary. But I just guessed off the top of my head, and I said it. I said, this kid's got to have at least 15 tackles. And I was one over. 14
tackles.
14. He was everywhere.
He was.
This was my Mr. Hustle if we gave out a Hustle Award.
Well, you know, I was going to say first 2 weeks of the show, and both weeks AJ's been our defensive player of the week. When Coach Reed told me, when he told me AJ was defensive player of the week, I said, well, anybody else? Just because of the show, hang on.
We like to spread things around and make everybody happy.
And, well, the answer I got, and this is before I had seen our defensive stats, was no, because nobody's even close. I think our next closest, Jaden Rose, I think he had 7 tackles, so he doubled our next closest guy. And he'll tell you he was one of the guys that spoke up today when I asked a question about being a half a step behind. AJ, you were talking about that a little bit. You were there so many times, man. Just a half a step behind because we just ain't used to seeing that speed.
Yeah, they're unbelievably fast. You get there, you get to them in arm's length, and you reach out or you try to make the tackle, and they just run right by you. And then once they get past you, you're not catching them.
Yeah,
it's hard, especially with them.
Good lesson, right? I mean,
oh yeah, good, very good lesson.
What we're gonna have to do moving forward because we're going, opponents are only gonna get better. I know we got Liberty and Chesney, and then if we're fortunate enough to make the playoffs each week, we're just gonna see better and better opponents. AJ, man, you're just a football player. You play defensively, you play linebacker, you play inside, outside. I think you could play safety if we needed you to, or defensive end if we needed you to. Offensively, you're one of those guys I can put anywhere. I mean, you play H-back, you play tight end, you play running back. You could play slot receiver if I needed you to. You just do a lot of things. To me, you remind me of an old school football player. Talk a little bit about your passion for the game of football. What it is, what drives you, your why of why you play.
Mine's a simple why. I just enjoy it a lot. I have a lot of fun when I'm playing. I like games a little more in practice. So all the passion really comes out on Friday. There's nothing better than being on the field under the lights. It's like everything else goes away and you're just on the field and nothing else. You're not even thinking about anything else besides the game. It's just you and the game and your people on your team. And
that's right. And last week you talked about just loving to play the game out there, being with your boys, being on the field, celebrating with your friends, and this and that. And I'm gonna tie two things together here. You just talked about not really liking practice, but one thing I noticed this year, now that we got Coop out there with you, Coop's been your best friend for a long time.
What's his first name? You gonna remind me?
Cooper Tidwell.
Cooper Tidwell, right? And this has been AJ's best friend since y'all like 5 or so. Ain't that what you said last week on the show? How come every time you get a chance to take a cheap shot on Coop, you take it? And you think that's funny at practice?
He picks on me all the time outside of football. I gotta teach him his lesson sometime.
I got you. I had to ask. I had to get to the bottom of that. I've been wondering about that because I know y'all boys. We talked to Ty a little bit about superstitions, and you guys know from meeting with me through leadership, I'm a superstitious guy. Do you have any game day superstitions? And not just football. I mean, do you have any with basketball that might tie into basketball that are different? You know what I mean?
I don't really know if you could count this as a superstition, but on away games, I don't get nothing on until we get to the game. Like at the same time, every away game, same time, I put all my stuff on. Or for home games, me and a bunch of other players on the team, like Blake, Maddox, Caden Yarborough, instead of going out to recess, we stay in and we turn the lights off when we play old school tunes. So everybody else likes the new. Well, I don't mind the new rap, but everybody else plays the new rap. So we get in there during recess and we play the old school tunes.
Play the old school tunes.
I want to know what does this generation consider an old school tune?
Like, I'd say 80s and 90s. In that
you like
time
a little
period.
AC/DC?
I don't know about AC/DC. I don't listen to that. Not that type of old tunes.
Okay, well then
give us a song.
We can still be friends.
We like the song "Mr. Jones."
Oh yeah, that's
a good one.
That's the '90s.
Yeah, me and Maddox we like that song a lot.
Yeah, I like that song too.
I haven't a clue.
You don't know Mr. Jones?
No,
right, so AJ.
I try to keep up with the Joneses. That's all I try to do.
Steve was listening to the Beach Boys at practice back in the day.
Oh, yeah. Don't make me put my helmet on.
Wait a minute. They didn't even listen to music back in the day when Steve was playing.
We had a radio.
Gregorian chants back in the day, the old relic.
Where's my red bag? I brought my football helmet. Mr. McClintock, hand me my red bag over there.
Oh, boy.
He's talking about how long ago it's been since I played.
Let's see what we got here, AJ.
I actually brought my helmet from back in the day. There it is. An old leather one.
That protected you?
Duh.
You know he's
That explains a lot, don't it?
Duh. It really protected me. I'm a poster child for concussions or whatever they do nowadays. All right.
So, hey, this is your second week in a row being here. What'd you order tonight? What'd you get to eat?
Plain old cheeseburger.
Mayonnaise,
ketchup, and fries.
Chicken fingers from one, and aren't you footing the bill for this? You guys should have come in here and had a ribeye steak.
Actually, the 2 players of the week are taken care of by the Southside Smokehouse.
Oh, okay.
They're
not commentators.
Yeah. What about what about last week? What'd you have? We didn't talk about.
I had 8 count of teriyaki wings we ranched last week.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it was
Hadn't
good.
had the wings here yet. They're good.
No, they're good. Teriyaki's good. I can't have nothing too spicy though. I just like teriyaki.
So, what you think this week, AJ? We got Liberty coming up. We're gonna be going there for the 2nd year in a row.
Ask him one thing. Remember last week when he was giving out his responsibilities? What was it? ABC, HRC, what?
BCR.
The BCRs. The other night, I noticed they ran a little reverse, a counter reverse, and guess who was home? Because he knew his ABCs. That's right. And it was him. And we made mention of that. I said, look who's home. It's old AJ over there with his HRCB or whatever you call it.
That's right. Before we talk about Liberty, let me ask you this. Coming out of the Clinton game, I mean, obviously we want to win every game we play, but, coming out of that game and having success against a program like that, knowing we can now, talk a little bit about that, and because that's something we hadn't really talked about. I'm just assuming you guys that it opened your eyes up a little bit.
So in the past of Landrum football, it's known that when you play a good team like that, we usually don't even put points on the scoreboard. Past 2 years we played Abbeville, we hadn't scored a point. And then we go and we play Clinton, who's a powerhouse, and we go and score. The first 2 drives, we get 2 scores, field goal and a touchdown. And I put some pep in our step. We just got to learn to put it together throughout the whole game and not get too ahead of ourselves in the first quarter. But, it really showed that we can play with anybody we want to. We just we got to get in better shape, and we got to just do it all 4 quarters instead of just the first half of the first quarter.
And AJ says that about you brought up earlier, Steve. He says that about getting better shape because we got so many guys that play. AJ don't come off the field.
I know he's got a motor that just won't quit.
Yep, and we're fortunate to have guys like that can go both ways and can get after it and
Don't
play.
think it didn't go unnoticed. Because we noticed it from the press box during the game. You were playing in extreme pain. As a football player, you get Charlie horses and just all kind of little aches and pains during the game that you just have to be a man.
Yeah, I was getting all beat up.
For the lack of a better term, suck it up and go. But Saturday mornings.
Oh, it's terrible. You wake up.
As
soon as you wake up,
I wanted to hear about that Saturday
morning.
morning. I also want to know about those Friday nights when you're trying to sleep. Sleep doesn't come because you're playing that game in your head all night, aren't you?
Yeah.
See, Coach, I hadn't forgotten these things.
Yeah, but these guys live in a different world than we do. I mean,
exactly.
By the time they get home, most of the time, I ain't gonna say every weekend, but most of the time, they already got the game. They can watch it on the computer.
And the upstate prep
mentally, I'm saying he's trying to sleep, and you're dreaming about it all night. Some things never change. Saturday morning soreness and Friday night nightmares.
So AJ, we got Liberty coming up Friday night. We got two big games left, Liberty and Chesney. Liberty's on the road this Friday night. What you got to say to our fans? We need our fans there Friday night.
Yeah.
We need to pack it out.
We're going to bounce back from last week. At Liberty is a far away, but it'll be worth the drive. Last year, they got a hold of us on a heartbreaker, onside kick. Most people know how that went. And we don't want that to happen, and we need people behind us when we go out there and play, so it would be much appreciated if there was a big crowd there.
You heard it there from A.J. Lindsay. You guys come out and support us Friday night down at Liberty. We need all we can get. Now, A.J., me and you talked. You knew you was going to be back on the show, and I told you, I said, you got 3 questions. All right, you can ask. You got one for me. You got one for Ty. And you got one for Coach Threadgill, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, well.
Your turn?
Yeah, I'll go first.
All right, I'm about to put you on the spot.
Go ahead. Put me on the spot, man.
So you played QB in high school, right?
I did.
You said you were pretty good, did well against Chapman.
Okay.
If you were your 18-year-old self, let's say 18-year-old self. Let's stick with 18. And you were on our team, and you and Ty were battling for the quarterback starting position, how would that turn out for
Ty be playing receiver. I can't run like Ty, so I don't know. Ty, and what we do and the kind of offenses that are ran nowadays, I don't know that I could do it because I did not have no speed at all. I was not. I was a pocket passer. Is what I would have been.
And we should have brought the picture. I actually have a picture of Coach Bridges.
I'm going to let Ty come in.
I actually have a picture of Coach Bridges
stuff.
in his number 22 for Broome High School back in the day. 22 skippity-doo. Right. You get to eat his shrimp and grits while you're sitting there, too.
All right.
Slide it over here.
So you play baseball, obviously, as we talked about earlier, and everyone knows you started since 8th grade varsity, so you're obviously pretty good. I'm sure you've thrown some people out. I want to know if would you rather catch a fly ball in the center field and trunk it all the way to the home base and smoke somebody out, or throw a 60-yard bomb in a football game where then everyone gets hype in the crowd? Ooh.
Probably throw somebody out at home.
Throw somebody out at home? No better feeling. What would the celebration be after you throw somebody out at home?
We'll celebrate.
You don't celebrate? All right, that was my question for Ty. This one's a burner too, Coach.
What's going on?
All right, so you played under Coach Bridges, right?
That's right.
All right, and then now you coach with Coach Bridges. I want to know what's the biggest difference from Coach Bridges after seeing him, the viewpoint as a player and now the viewpoint as a coach. What's like the biggest thing you've taken away from that?
The biggest difference is my senior year, I service learned with Coach Bridges, and he had this couch in his office that I wore out so bad that it ain't around no more. That's probably the biggest difference. But no, me and Bridges have always been very close. The biggest difference I'd say is just, we're more of our relationship is different, obviously, now than it was when I was in high school.
And if you were pass blocking for Coach Bridges, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Coach Bridges, you screw up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Coach Bridges gets on to you. How are you taking that from Coach Bridges if he's a player and you're a player?
I screwed up?
Yeah. Well, you didn't
right.
like. Yeah, I guess I was just trying to come up with someone's spot.
You good, baby?
My mind going all over the place.
You good, baby?
That's all I got.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You can get a good job on Upstate Prepcast on Friday nights doing like that.
Is that my audition?
If you know the difference between Adrian and Aiden, and if you don't call Cooper Gentry all night long. But I'm sorry, folks. But Coach, anything else we got from this young man?
That's great, AJ. Appreciate you being back on. Appreciate what you do on the field and the effort you give on the field, man. You get after it. You play football the right way, and blessed to get to coach you, buddy.
And we'll probably see you again next week. We call it the A.J. Lindsay Award.
That's right. That might have to, because you do, son. You play wide open, and it is an honor, a privilege. Thank you. Coach.
All right, Mr. Roper, if you want to, we can go to break here.
Yeah.
And we'll be coming back. One thing we're going to do when we come back out of the break is, last week we didn't really we didn't have any hogs on the show. So this week we're going to have a couple of hogs, and we're going to bring in a guest to interview our two hogs this week. Coach Threadgill's going to come on and interview a couple of our guys, and we look forward to having them on when we come back from the break.
All right. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to the Brent Bridges Show here at Landrum Cardinal Football, only on Upstate Prepcast. We'll be right back.
I had a question about my insurance the other day, so I called my new State Farm agent. And would you believe I talked to the same person who remembered my name? They said that was called service. And then they asked if my dog Max was over his cold. They called that service too. And then they helped me find ways to save on my home and auto coverage. I asked State Farm what they called that. They said service.
Call Agent Chad Wagner, Asheville Highway, Spartanburg, 585-7999.
Isn't it nice to know that when someone says they'll stay in touch, they actually will? The phrase has real meaning at Raymond James because we believe in keeping clients informed about their portfolios, even in the most challenging economic times. Clients place their trust in us because we believe that meaningful communication, stability, and client satisfaction matter. Call financial advisor Tom Dixon at 582-1611, located in Spartanburg, to learn more. Raymond James Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA, SIPC. Life well planned.
Inflation and other economic factors can keep you from getting the best results from your investments. Raymond James financial advisor Tom Dixon may be able to help you find ways to stay ahead of inflation, mitigated taxes, and prepare for retirement. Call Tom at 582-1611. Located in Spartanburg for an appointment, Raymond James Financial Services, member FINRA SIPC. Life well planned. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of capital. Warrior Tree Service, your go-to tree experts. Family owned and operated since 2020, offering service from tree removal to tree trimming and stump grinding. At Warrior Tree Service, we handle it all. When nature strikes, count on us to clean up the mess and restore your property back to normal. Visit our website at warriortreeservicesc.com. To get a free estimate, call 864-278-2555. Warrior Tree Service, where nature thrives, we revive.
All right, back here on the Landrum Football Coaches Show with head coach Brent Bridges. At this time, we're going to have a special guest interviewer. He was just on the show, but Coach Dylan Threadgill, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, what you do, and these two fine young gentlemen with you, and camera's going to zoom in on y'all, and I'm going to fade on out.
I have the privilege of I coach these two guys every day with the offensive line, and spend probably way too much time around these guys. But these are two guys. This is Blake Bridges and Brody Gosnell, two guys that have been leaders for us all year long, and want to get on here and talk to them a little bit about it. First off, Brody is our hog of the week. Okay, I think, what'd you say, that's 3 weeks running now?
Yep.
All right. What do you think you did this week that allowed you to become the hog of the week? Why do you think that it was that you got it?
I did my responsibilities. I did my job. I kind of held my own against a very good offensive and defensive line that Clinton has.
Okay.
You know.
I would just say, for me personally, the reason when we come to talk about who the hog of the week was going to be, and, you know, we talk about who just gave us their all. You did a great job. You played both sides of the ball, played the entire game. There was a couple times where Brody's over there tapping his helmet, Coach, I need somebody. And I looked down and said, we ain't got nobody else. You got to go.
Yep.
All right? But you did a great job. And then also Blake down here, he's been our hog of the week twice. All right. Blake hasn't graded out below a 90 all year on the offensive line. Leads the team in pancakes. Don't know an exact number, but he's done a great job for us. Blake, what would you say is the biggest difference from last year to this year, and how you've gotten better from last year to this year?
I think Coach Brown, he's helped a lot. He's helped with the speed work, footwork, all that.
Okay.
Gotten stronger. Just study film more, all that.
I agree. I think you two guys have also done a great job buying into the weight room and all the things that Coach Brown is trying to get you guys to do. I have a couple questions. Obviously, Brody, you're sitting here with, you know, we got the cast. We got to address the elephant in the room.
Yep.
What happened to you, and, you know, how are we feeling?
So basically my hand got caught in somebody's jersey and bent down like that, and they think I tore this ligament right here, and there's a little fracture down here. But, you know, I'm cool with it. Just gotta keep on playing. Just keep rolling. Can't really let it slow me down that much. I'm expected to play both sides of the ball this week. Just got to keep moving.
Okay, I like that answer. So one thing last week, we went in the game, and our thoughts was we had the edge throwing the ball. All right, just plain and simple. But you guys, man, you came out against one of the better lines in the state, not just 2A in general. That's a great defensive and offensive line. You guys came out, ran for 327 yards with Ty and Downhill Kelly and some of our other guys. What is it that gave us success against those guys? Why were we able to get 327 yards on the ground when we honestly, going into the week, we weren't sure we were going to be able to?
I think physicality. We're more physical than them. They didn't like it when we were physical.
Okay.
We just kind of came out of the gate and smacked them in the mouth a couple plays, and we really caught them off guard with that.
All right, so let's move on past the game a little bit. I want to get into some other things, have a little fun. We don't get to have the Hogs on here very often, okay? All right, so first thing, what is the worst part of practice? Blake?
Either the sled or shoot.
Sled or shoot.
Mhm.
Okay, both sled or shoot.
I-
Okay,
I'll-
can you explain to a random viewer what we do on the sled or the shoot? Just somebody who's never played football before. You tell us about the shoot real quick, Blake.
The shoot, it's probably you got to stay basically at almost parallel and take your steps under it, and it's like a lot of steps.
A lot of different steps we take. Yeah, legs burning, big boys. Yeah, okay.
The sled is basically is a long piece of metal that's got. We have a 2-man sled, and then we have what would you call that? A 5-man sled?
Yeah, technically a 5-man. Yep.
And it's got one of them has 2 pads on it, and one of them has 5 pads on it, and that joker is heavy.
So what do we do with that? It sits there?
You just got to line up and push it.
That's right. That's right. You guys do an awesome job with that. I know that's y'all's favorite part of practice. What's your favorite part of practice? Other than the end. Don't say the end.
I don't. Probably not inside. Probably just team.
Team.
I like pass rush a good bit.
Pass rush.
Mhm.
Defensively or
Or
offensively?
one-on-ones.
That's what pass rush is.
Yeah, I like one-on-ones.
Yeah. You do it like it both ways or
yeah.
just defense?
Offense is
harder.
No, offense is easier in one-on-ones.
Okay.
Because really on defense you have to choose what you're gonna do and just kind of hope it works. On offense, you just kind of got to react and know where to be.
Yeah. I got you. Okay, so this one right here, we talked a lot about how important it is to protect our quarterback. It's just fitting that Ty was on the show this week. And we've talked about it sometimes about how he's the quarterback. He can get on to us. He can be like that annoying little brother sometimes, right? That just gets on your nerves. So tell me, what's one thing that Ty does a good job of? What does he do as a leader he does a good job of doing that?
When we are playing good, he makes sure he's like I don't really know how to say it, but
he's boosting it, making sure we know we're doing a good job and keep up on it. Yeah, okay.
He you can't really tell it by just talking to him, but on the field he's a very vocal leader. He'll let you know when you're doing good. He'll let you know when you're doing bad.
Yeah.
He lets you know how he's feeling.
I agree with that, man. He's done an awesome job of improving from that this year. But I got 2 more questions, and then I'll get you guys out of here, okay? 2 more questions. First off, what is your favorite – this is a lineman question. What's your favorite finger food? And let me go ahead and define finger food as a single serving of food that you can eat with your hands. So a burger doesn't count. A slider counts.
Probably the chicken sliders from Zaxby's.
That one's debatable, but okay, I'll let it slide.
My personal favorite, we do it at my house a good bit, pizza rolls.
Pizza rolls? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, last one right here, another lineman question. Favorite dessert? Look,
banana pudding.
Banana pudding, overrated.
Overrated?
Yeah, not a banana pudding guy.
Yeah.
I like cheesecake a good bit.
That's
Just
a good one.
a nice plain cheesecake.
Plain cheesecake. Well, good. Man, I just want to say y'all 2 have done awesome. Y'all are 2 leaders on our offensive and defensive line both ways because of just the approach you guys take. Obviously, you wouldn't be here week after week if you weren't putting in the work. Just proud of you guys, and overall, you guys have played a heck of a season. We're going to see where it keeps going, right?
All right.
Now, before you guys take off the headsets, I got a special feature here for Coach Threadgill and Blake,
Okay.
right? So Steve found a old picture, and Brody, don't feel left out here, but this photo is of a much younger Coach Threadgill and a much younger Blake. I'm going to see if I can bring it up here, and I'll tilt this monitor around that we can see here, so you guys can see it here, and the folks at home, when this gets uploaded, maybe I can get it turned around enough here. It's probably not big enough, but Coach Threadgill as a player and a young Blake Bridges and stuff. So everything comes full circle, Coach, and we're glad to have you and both these young men, Brody Gosling and Blake Bridges, with us here tonight. Coach Threadgill, thank you very much. We're going to go for one more commercial break, folks, and then we're going to be back for the conclusion of tonight's show. Again, you're watching the Landrum Cardinal Football Coaches Show from Southside Smokehouse here in Landrum, South Carolina. We'll be right back.
There's nothing better than award-winning jumbo wings while you watch great sports programming on huge flat screens at Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. If you love wings and a whole menu of great food and drink options, come to Wings Etc. for lunch, dinner, and snacking, and lots of HDTV sports. And now, when you can't eat and watch the game here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. Good food, great times, and online ordering at togo.wingsetc.com. When it comes to wings, everyone knows size does matter, and no one knows it better than Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. Wings Etc. has the biggest, meatiest, award-winning jumbo wings in town. If you love wings and a whole menu of great food and drink options and tons of flat screens tuned into sports, we've got you covered. And now, when you can't eat here, order online for pickup at togo.wingsetc.com. It's fast, easy, and convenient. Wings Etc. Grill and Pub. Good food, great times, and online ordering at togo.wingsetc.com.
This is Steve Roper,
Kevin Jackson
at Upstate Prepcast, and I tell you what, folks, you don't have to feel a financial strain from a clogged drain. Just call the MVP of plumbers. That's Mike Verner's Plumbing, proudly celebrating their 40th year of service to the Carolinas. Mike Verner's Plumbing has you covered in all situations, whether it's commercial or residential. So if your toilet's on the fritz and you really need to take a
Hold everything. Folks, call the MVP of plumbers today at 864-472-8756. Mike Verner's Plumbing of Inman. Do you have a tree problem? Look no further than JB Trees LLC. At JB Trees LLC, we strive to provide a wonderful experience with professional service marked by excellence, all at reasonable prices. Schedule your free estimate today by calling 864-497-8511. That's 864-497-8511, or visit us online at jbtreesllc.com. JB Trees LLC, where your vision meets our expertise.
All right, welcome back here to the Southside Smokehouse and Grill here in Landrum. Coach Brent Bridges here along with me, and this week, Coach, to take it on the road again against another bunch of pesky Red Devils, we'll travel over to Liberty High School for the season's second region game.
Yes, sir, and this is a second straight year in a row we'll be traveling to Liberty. Just kind of the luck of the draw when we drew for our new region schedules with the realignment. But love going down and seeing Coach Sutherland. He does a great job year in and year out, no matter where he's at. And had some great battles with him back in the day when I was at Chesney and he was at Pendleton. But I know his team. He's going to have a good football team. I know they're going to be disciplined. I know they're going to play hard, and look forward to playing them Friday night. It's another great test, big game for us. It's our next game, obviously, but
they got a couple of big weapons.
They do. They got a quarterback that can play.
Got a north-south.
Got a north-south wide receiver, number 8. He's tall and lanky. He played receiver for them last year. Their quarterback number 2. He is just I tell you what, he reminds me of AJ Lindsey. He's just a football player. He's just a football player. He could do. You could plug him in anywhere on the field. He gets after it. Now, one thing about him I do know, coming out of the Chesney game, I know he got banged up in the Chesney game, and talking to some of the Chesney coaches, they think he left with a possible concussion, but we're not sure. We don't know. We expect to see him Friday night when we get to Liberty. I'm sure there's a great possibility of him playing, and I know Coach Sutherland ain't gonna put him out there if he's not healthy. I know that. I've known Paul my whole life.
Are they more or less a run or a 50-50? They mix it up very well. I mean, they're going to keep you on your toes.
They mix it up. They throw the ball, but I would call them more of a run team. They're going to be more traditional. It's like a lot of the things they're doing offensively is things we would have seen back in the day, people doing out of the eye.
Oh, I was fixing that.
But
that was on
now
my
they're
mind.
doing it out of the shotgun with 2 backs, and they got a tight end, they got a flanker, and they got a split end.
Kind of run the pistol formation, but with a little extra
They don't put
lineman
him behind him. They still keep him side, but it's just a lot of the same schemes that you see in an I formation. They're not very fancy. They don't do a whole lot of different stuff. They just line up, do what they do, come at you, and they're banking on they gonna outplay you, and they play till the end. Obviously, last year they came back, beat us. in a very close game at Liberty. Got that onside kick.
Well,
I hate even thinking about that. AJ brought it up.
Yeah, but in your defense, we had a sideline that looked like a mass unit. We had everybody hurt, and we were playing a lot of younger players in there. And, kind of looking at it now, a lot of those younger players that got that game experience last year and thrust into the action have kind of stepped up this year and become some of the leaders. They got baptized by fire, baptism by fire last year.
Hey, I'll tell you a little funny fact about last year's game. I don't know if Ty remembers this or not, but Ty was our starting quarterback in the game. But we had a Wildcat package in where Titus went to quarterback, and Ty actually caught a touchdown pass last year against Liberty. I remember we called a timeout, and he come over there. He said, first thing he says, Coach, they ain't covering me no more. They just playing the run. So we faked the run through Ty a touchdown pass last year over at Liberty. That was smart on his part.
He's got a future as a coach, perhaps.
That's right. He could have if he wanted to. He's
Him and Titus get together. They both want to be coaches one day.
But look forward to going down there. It's a big game for us. Region implications. We were talking about that earlier with Kevin. And one thing that I didn't get to bring it up when we were talking about it, but, actually the way the brackets fall this year, Kevin, the 1, 2, and 3 seed in our region get a first round home game. So even the second and third seed are big because you still getting a home game, so it'd be great. We're going to try to finish out season hard. Our focus right now is on Liberty this Friday night, trying to go down there and get a win against a very well coached team that we know is going to get after it. We need to try to come out of there with a win. Our focus right now is on trying to finish second in the region, finishing the season strong, and hopefully peaking going into the playoffs, because we're going to get that week off before the playoffs, which will give us a chance to
heal
rest
up
some guys up, heal up, get your legs back under you, mentally rest a little bit also. That's one thing that gets lost in the shuffle. People don't understand how mentally taxing playing football can be now on a kid. You think about it, and then not just Ty being the quarterback and having to know everything that's going on offensively, but you think about a guy like AJ, who's coming in and playing tight end, he's playing tailback, he's playing H-back. There's 3 different positions I just named. He's got to know what to do regardless of what position he's at, and then defensively, these guys play both ways. They got to know, when they're blitzing, what coverage they're in.
Let's not leave those big fat linemen out.
No,
because Bruce,
I was going to bring it up.
I don't mean to call him fat because he'll beat me up.
When we blocking up front, Steve, there's a lot of different assignments.
Exactly.
And then depending on what the look is you getting, and then defensively, we do a lot of different things, run a lot of different stunts, and it can be mentally taxing on these kids. We forget they in school all day. They still getting an education, and
they got to do their reading, writing, and arithmetic.
That's right.
Too,
and still try to be a kid too, and but hey, we look forward to Friday night. We're gonna go down to Liberty, try to get us a win. You guys come out and support us. We hope all of Landrum can make it down Friday night to watch us take on Liberty, and hopefully get one step closer to hosting a home playoff game.
All right, folks, you heard it right from the coach this week. We got a date with the Devil Friday night once again, and we're going to go over to Liberty, and we're going to put forth their best effort. I said we. I don't never mean to say we.
Well, we need your best effort too.
Well, we're going to give our
Y'all
best.
Part of the team. So
okay. Well, thank you. That means a lot to us, Kevin. And we're going to be there Friday night. Kickoff's at 7:30. You can listen to it on Upstate Prepcast. Just look us up. Kevin, anything you want to add here at the end? I think you had a little something. And, Coach, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Another wonderful
Appreciate
weekend
you
with you.
So
appreciate the Southside Smokehouse and Grill.
That's what I think Kevin's going to
of course, thank them, and also thank the football moms. Again, you touched on it briefly earlier in the episode here, but thank them for I know we heard Miss Foster, Miss Martindale, Mr. and Mrs. Gosnell, and any more. Thank you very much and stuff for your generosity to us last Friday evening, and that was unexpected and very gracious and helped charge us up for an exciting football game, and we're grateful to be part of the Landrum Cardinal family here in glad to start this venture here with the Landrum Football Coaches Show with head coach Brent Bridges.
Well, Kevin, and I think I'm speaking on behalf of our mothers who did that for you guys. They just wanted you guys to know y'all appreciated. We all appreciate everything you do for our kids. I mean, because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Getting these broadcasts out there, doing this coaches show. I mean, by doing the show this way and not just pre-recording, we're getting the opportunity to bring kids on, to put their face out there, to let colleges see them be interviewed. If they are interested in the kid coming and playing for them at some point in any sports, just a lot of different things. And by doing it this way, we're trying to connect the community and the program, and that's the biggest point to me is I want I want this community to be behind our program. I want them to be one together. You know what I mean?
I like the way you've got the family atmosphere going here with your team, the church visits and all the things that you did during the summer and things, little group activities and things that take place to gel you all as a family. And I want to go back before we end a while ago when Coach Threadgill was here and they showed the picture, which I found on your wife's Facebook page. I hope she doesn't mind.
Not at all.
But the coach has been with you and your as a player, as they mentioned at Broome, and you were a coach.
I'll tell you what, this is, and I'm going to give you the short version, but when I came home to District 3, when I left Chesney, and I started in District 3 in 2012, my first 2 years there, I was teaching middle school PE. First period, I had this kid in there named Dylan Threadgill. And
sounded like trouble already, wasn't he?
And after about 3 weeks of class, I get an email from my principal that says, "Come up and see me." I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go. What's happened? I don't know this happened." But no, I get up there and apparently Dylan's mom had called and requested that he have PE second semester also. They normally didn't do that, and because he just liked being around me, we struck a relationship. And what's funny is it was when I got a phone call about 2 weeks before school got out, Dylan's 8th grade year, telling me I was being moved to Broome to do driver's ed. So when he went to Broome as a 9th grader, I went to Broome to teach driver's ed. So we were together about 6 years, and he talked about service learning. I had him for 2 years service learning. He's got a younger brother who is the same age as Brett, and they played youth league baseball together. So Dylan was actually, when he was in 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade, he was helping me coach youth league ball. He helped me coach youth league baseball with a younger group, and then he came and coached Blake and their group. He coached their offensive line after he would get done with practice at Broome. He would go down, change, and come back up on the field and coach the youth league kids and help them out. And he means a lot to our family. He's more like a son to me than
that's why I brought it up.
Anything else. But he's right about one thing. You asked him about our relationship, and it's just kind of evolved over the years. And I say he's like family, he's like a son, but he's more like a little brother, I'd say.
I could tell when I first saw that picture, I said, this is very interesting. I can see, your two sons there with him, and he had the Broome uniform on, and I've kind of teased him before, even when he was at Newberry. He's lost a lot of weight.
Oh, yeah. Yes, he has.
He was a little bit on the heavy side back then.
In his playing days, he was around
he was a hog.
Anywhere from 300 to 330 during his playing days. He was a big old boy. Went and played college ball for a little while, did a good job. Proud of Dylan and proud of what he's doing now and proud of what he stands for.
That he's proud of what he's doing, too, because he's getting to interact with your children, still. And like I say, it's rumored that he's actually living in your basement up there. Now he wants to be so close to you. I don't know if it's true or not. If he's moved in the basement. I don't think Mrs. Threadgill wants to live in the basement.
Coach Threadgill is very happily engaged. He'll be getting married.
I thought he was married. I thought that was the missus over there. So that's the fiance?
Miss Kylie, they'll be getting married this June. They have been dating since, I think, 7th grade, if I'm not mistaken. They've been together. So, I give Ty a hard time. I always see him and his girlfriend are always together at school.
It's not that she didn't try to do better. It's just hard.
But now Ty and his girlfriend, they remind me a lot of Coach Threadgill and Kylie. So it's just
okay.
Well, folks,
I just like that little family atmosphere that the coach has up here. It's a great community, the Landrum family, the Landrum Cardinal family, Coach.
Yep.
And
that's
what it's all about. So,
That's
Kevin,
right.
we're going to leave it with you. And thank you, folks, for joining in this week.
6:45 p.m. begins our pregame show on Friday, www.upstateprepcast.net/Landrum. That'll take you directly to our game links there. You can watch the game on YouTube. They are not an NFHS partner unless they've signed a contract in the last year, so we should be able to have live video and audio only on the Meritix platform. Again, www.upstateprepcast.net/Landrum. 6:45 begins pregame. 7:30 will begin the kickoff, and portions of this will be on the GG Creations pregame interview. So for head coach Brent Bridges, for Steve Roper, thanks again to Southside Smokehouse and Grill for hosting tonight. You've been watching the Landrum Football Coaches Show with head coach Brent Bridges. We'll eventually get the name of it right.
Go Cards.
What do you say, Steve?
Get me out of here, Percy.
The preceding Upstate Prepcast presentation was brought to you by Wings Etc., 2644 Bowling Springs Road, Bowling Spring. Good food, great times, award-winning wings, and amazing etc. We thank you for tuning in tonight. Your broadcast was brought to you by Wings Etc., by Raymond James Financial Advisor Tom Dixon, by the Bell, Carrington, Price & Gregg LLC Law Group, by Chad Wagner State Farm Insurance, by Jeff Parks and the Realtors at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, C. Dan Joyner, Spartanburg, by J.B. Trees LLC, by the Flounder Seafood Restaurant, by GSP Security, by Blue Ridge Tire, by Mahindra of the Upstate, by Warrior Trees, by J&L Lawn Service, by Home Run Cafe, by Mike Varner Plumbing, The View Church, Paris Bridge Road, Bowling Springs, by GG's Creations, by the Pocahontas Country Club, Nature's Mountain Playground, Pocahontas County, West Virginia, by the Seawright Funeral Home, East Main Street, Inman. Until next week when we meet again.
Elvis has left the building. Thank you and good night.